Welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big GATAH. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now, we are covering ATP, Winston-Salem, round 1, and a bit of round 2. I know you saw me just a couple hours ago. It's because we were covering the final, but we're covering this now. So if you do appreciate the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. If you would like to get these picks from me as soon as I upload my videos, you can subscribe. And if you feel generous, there's a link in the pinned comment, as well as a link to my free Discord if you would like to join. The community is great, and it's growing every day. Literally, I think I started it up at the beginning of this channel. And like I said, I took a break during the clay season because the clay season was just so weird this year. I was just like, nah. Came back into it for the grass, and since the grass, we started with 73 followers and subscribers, and now we are all the way at 430 plus. Crazy. So, just since Wimbledon, or the grass season, appreciate you guys once again. It's huge. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know you guys came here for sports picks, so enough of the soft mumbo jumbo. I do appreciate you all, though. Let's get into the continuation of round 1. There's going to be like 2 matches. A bit excited for them, honestly. But we'll see how they go. Let's start off properly. Start it off in order. We got Coric going against Blanch. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. Blanch being an American 17-year-old. Good place to kind of get his footing. He made it past both qualies. Beat Royer and Boyer. Funny enough. Valentin and Tristan. Only dropped a set in the entire process. And those are some pretty decent players. So, we got Tristan. We got Coric, who's 1-4 this season, going against the 17-year-old who is 30-10. Interesting. M25 level, but he's beaten ATP players. Boyer's almost about to crack the top 100, and same with Royer as well. So not a top 100 win just yet, but he's only 17 and he's getting pretty close. If he wins the next one, he does it. Going 30-10 this season, but not at an ATP level, should get you at least a set, right? Like it wouldn't be crazy to say if he's been playing this well, he can get us a set on American soil against the 1-4 Coric this season, who also ended last season 8-13. Now, if we want to get a good look at this, let's get a good look at it. Jesus, where is it at? All right, cool. Darwin is a favorite. I'm sorry, not the favorite. He is a underdog by plus 128. Coric is the favorite by minus 156. This is one of the times I would take a dog in the first round. Sprinkle some on the dog here, just because he's 17. He's in America. Let's see if he's from this area. He's from Florida, Boca Raton. Oh, he looked like a little Ben Shelton. I'm rooting for this kid. And he's left-handed. He's left-handed. Oh, yeah. We're taking this kid. I like that, actually. Take him for a set. Take him for a set. He's number 404 in the world, but he's only 17. We've seen stories like this ever so recently. The kid has a 66% win rate on the hard courts. He's 56-28 so far. Only having about 10 losses per season at this point. So, very promising. Truly. I like this Darwin Blanch kid. Blanch. I guess we'll find out tomorrow when we watch. I'm trying to see if I can find how much a set would cost for him. Minus 180. Not bad at all. Really like that. Borges hasn't showed us anything worth running home to mom for. Got smoked by Emilio Nava, Matteo Gigante, who hasn't been playing the best, and Tito and Droquet, who hasn't been playing the best either, and that was on the clay. So he's on a 3-match losing streak. Hasn't had but one success on the hard court, and funny enough, it was in Australia against Felix Auger-Aliassime, someone who shouldn't have beaten him at all, Borna Coric, but that's Felix for you, and that's how things go. But let's move on. I'm excited for this one, actually. Should be a great one. The young American lefty. Looking like Ben, playing like Ben, maybe. We'll see if he has a good serve or not. I'm excited to watch the match, actually, out of nowhere. That'll be cool. All right, next we have Roman Safiullin going against Chris O'Connell. And these guys have played each other once before, about 8 years ago on the clay. Safiullin won in straight sets. Safiullin was a way different player back then, but he is still Roman Safiullin, right? Lost to Hogarune. Took him to a tiebreak, ridiculously. O'Connell did have that walkover against Demonar. I'm a bit worried that he would jump out of a Masters to then try to recoup in a ATP 250 a week before a Grand Slam. I wouldn't put too much on O'Connell, but I wouldn't put it past him to beat Safiullin, right? He's 12-9 this season on the hard, going against Safiullin, who is 8-10. On paper, Safiullin wins more on the hard court historically, but he's not playing too well this season. But neither is Chris O'Connell. He is 16-22 so far. But that was all mostly grass losses. So take that with a bit of a grain of salt when talking about the hard courts here. I would just stay away from the match, honestly. The walkover just makes me want to say, like, stay away. And it being like a 250, even more of a stay away. We can move right along here. It's a little bit of a free money match. We got Hugo Gaston going against Martin Fucsovics. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. But, man, Hugo's been going through it. He'll get some wins here and there, but he is on a 3-match losing streak. Went down to Mexico, lost in the first round against Alex Galarneau. Lost in 3 sets in Cincinnati to Caballas Baena. Lost in straight sets to Rublev in Toronto. Lost in straight sets to Humbos and Kitzbühel. Like, it's just not looking good for the boy. And then we got Fucsovics, who's 10-3 this season. He hasn't played on the hard courts yet, but his season on the hard court's been pretty good. He won a challenger, came back to Dubai, and then lost in the first round. A lot better than we can see from Ugo, I would say. I'm sure he's a heavy favorite here. Minus 235. I wouldn't touch it because he hasn't been on the hard courts in some time. And he's only got a 57% win rate on the hard courts. It's not that convincing. I know it's Ugo, and he's probably going to beat him in straight sets, but do that at your own risk. I'm not going to be the one to tell you to do that one. Nah. His money line's at minus 240, so, I mean, you can get a good look at that and see if it's worth your parlay piece or not, but I wouldn't put it in it just yet. See how he's looking after this match. Or if you want to take him now, find out now. I mean, this is the time to find out with Hugo Gaston. You really know what you're going to get with this guy, and that's going to be a loss in some type of way. He'll try, maybe he'll get a set, but it's not looking too bright for Hugo nowadays. Maybe he turns it around. I hope so. We've seen some good matches from him in the past, so I would like to see him get some improvements. But let's move along. Now, this is one I wanted to talk about in our last Winston-Salem video, but it was a qualies match, and I didn't want to say shit. But, man, our boy Suresh Basavareddy, after he took that L from Zverev, he said, man, fuck it. Let me go to Winston-Salem, get a check real quick. Went against Alex Rabakinov, beat him 6-2, and then bageled him in the second set. He said, I'm not playing. And I said, all right, well, you got to go against Tristan Skulkate next. He said, okay. 6-4, 6-3. I told you I wasn't playing. So now he's got to go against Rafael Colliginon. And the response is going to be the same. I'm not playing. Young Suresh has not gone against this guy before. This is going to be their first head-to-head. They're only 3 years apart, and they're only 2 ranks apart, 109 and 107. Colliginon being ranked a bit higher. But Colliginon is 0-2 on the hard courts this season. Suresh is 15-9 with wins on Vukic. Has he beat Monfils? Did he beat Monfils earlier this year? He made to the... he lost to Monfils. But he beat Mickelson, Tabilo, Comesana, Altmaier, Botic. Like, he's beaten a lot of good guys back in the earlier parts of this year. His form on the hard courts was pretty solid. I know him in the past to be a great hardcourt player, and I'm just hoping that this level of ATP might just be where he can like kind of get his bearings. I think he was jumping into too big of events too soon. Masters is not your level. It's not the level for Lerner to in either, but he can get a little bit further, and he can get some good reps in. This level, though, ATP 250s, maybe even go down to 100s. Oh, man. I'm digging it. I'm digging it for my man. I'm digging it. It's definitely good money right here for Suresh. So I'm definitely will be taking this money line comfortably tomorrow. He's minus 370, so you can only imagine. If you want to get him in straight sets, which is what I'll probably be doing for some smoke. Oh, it's even money. Would you imagine that? That is just outright disgusting. Yeah, it's not plus money anywhere. Damn. That is tragic as all hell. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Damn. Well, yeah. Just take his money line and we'll have to find something else to go with it. Let's go on to the next one. Let's root for our young American, though, on American soil in an ATP 250. I'm looking forward to it. Next, we have another American who's been a little bit shaky. We got Kovacevic going against Misolic. This is going to be their first head-to-head for the American going against the Austrian. 2-year difference, about 29, 23, 33 ranks apart, I'm sorry. Kovacevic is 12-9 this season on the hard courts, and Misolic is 8-3. But Misolic is also 50-18 this season, going across challengers and ATP 250s and beyond. He's managed to do pretty decently on the clay this season, and that's pretty much his stilo in his game. He hasn't even gotten 50 matches on the hard courts. So going against Kovacevic, it should be a pretty open and showcase. I'd be really surprised if he loses. Now, Kovacevic is looking like he's been in bad form. I don't know if it's because of the heat that this guy can't take it, but Misolic, he's coming from a ways away, so he did lose in the quarterfinals in the Sumter Challenger, which was, where the hell was that at? Poland, right? So yeah, form-wise, he's looking very promising. He's 8-3 on the hard courts so far this season, but Kovacevic just has that pedigree. He has that rank, right? He's 67. Misolic is just getting in the top 100 ever so recently with his wins. So Kovacevic winning is probably what, minus 400? Oh my gosh, it's minus 140. Get out of here. Would you get out of here? That is such a shocker. What the? Okay, that's gone. So, let's move on to the next one. Sorry. Kovacevic should get it done here. And he's at a very good price to win. He hasn't been too promising, but surely he gets it done here. I might not touch actually that match just because he hasn't been looking too good. But yeah, let's look into the next one. Now, it was hot as all hell today. So, I know in North Carolina it was a bit hot. They had, I think, some slight showers maybe, but a lot of the matches weren't shown. So, I can't tell you for sure what the full lowdown was court by court. But what I can tell you is for this next match, it's going to be a good one. We got Kopriva going against Sebastian Korda. And these guys have only played each other once before, and it was last year in the Australian Open, and it went to a 5-setter. Korda being the winner. But haven't seen much of Sebastian Korda since the French Open, have we? Lost to Tiafoe in straight sets, and haven't seen him since. Kopriva got a pretty good win against Offner today. He went, 2-1 against him in the heat? That's pretty promising. Going against Sebastian Korda, who hasn't touched a hard court since... March. 5.5 months. He hasn't played an official match on a hard court. Going against somebody who just won a 3-setter, played in the Masters already, played in 2 Masters already, lost, but he's gotten the experience and the conditioning in the heat. I don't know here. Obviously, Sebastian Korda should win, but he's only 7-4 so far this season. He's only played 22 matches. He's 12-10. Now, the injury he had that he came off of earlier this year, he was looking a bit decent when he was up in Melbourne, but then something just kind of stopped. He won back in DC, got to the quarterfinals in Montreal last year, right? Didn't do too well in Cincinnati, lost to Pablo Carreño Busta, then lost to Majchrzak in the U.S. Open. But haven't seen him take place in this tournament, so I'm wondering if this is a heat check for Sebastian Korda, seeing where he's at for sure before seeing if he even gets himself into the U.S. Open and to a decent level, like how far will he make it based on what he's seen today. So I don't know if we get a full win from him, from Kopriva, but I think we can get a set, just based on how well he's been playing. But I can't touch Sebastian Korda because he hasn't touched a hard court yet. That's my whole thing. So with that, I'll move on to our next match, which is going to be, forgive me in advance, okay? Matter of fact, fuck. Our next match is Mariano Navone going against Suresh from India. He is ranked 663, performing in Winston-Salem, going against the ranked 78 Navone. Now, Navone is 3-7 on the hard course this year. He got to the first round somehow in Cincinnati, lost in 3 sets to Adam Walton, who couldn't do it for us today, but it is what it is. He, like I said, he's 3-7. He's 27-23 this season. And then we have Suresh, who is 12-5 on the hard courts, 15-6 this season. The only three other matches he played, the other matches he played were on the indoor hard courts, where he's 3-1. He's played at the challenger level, up fairly recently. Lost in the qualification round against Andrew Finty back in Chicago, but made it to the quarterfinals against Elias Bazuri in the Lexington Challenger. We've been seeing him spend a lot of time in D.C. Right before that, he's not in D.C. I'm sorry, in America, and going back and forth from America to India. But looks like he's a hardcore player. I don't see him playing anything but the hard court. So Navone might be in for a rude awakening against this ranked 663 player. I could be completely full of it. Navone had lost to Emilio Nava, who isn't a ranked 600 player, but shouldn't have lost in straight sets to him. Adam Walton, I understand. This I understand as well. So does that also fit the criteria? Maybe not. But 3-7, you only won 3 times. He has a 33% win rate on the hard courts. You got to take the other kid for a set, right? You got to take him. Let's see, what is it at? Let's see what it's priced at. Navone is minus 250 to win. That's so funny. He should win, obviously, but if he wins 2-1, it's plus 250. If this guy gets a set, it's minus 150. Suresh getting a set, I feel like he can do it. I wouldn't touch it, though. I'd be interested to see it. And I'll leave it at that. All right, we got 3 more matches. Next, we have Francisco Comesana going against Matteo Bellucci. And Bellucci is coming off the Sumter Challenger, feeling pretty good. He had a second set retirement from Shevchenko. So, easy title. 1-1 by default. He beat him in the first set tiebreak. And I guess the towel got thrown in 3-1 in that second set. Right before that, he bageled Jaime Fadia and won 6-4 in the second set. Never dropped a set the entire tournament. Looking good on the hard courts for sure. Let's see, where is this challenger at? South Carolina. Oh, perfect. Okay, so he was getting some reps like an hour away from Winston-Salem, or an hour and some change, who knows? But not far at all. Not far at all. Understand that. In America, that's not far at all. That's an hour or 2 drive at most. So he's definitely in the groove of playing. I like his chances against who is this? Who is he going against? Comesana. Comesana is the favorite here, and he has been playing some good tennis. But Comesana, does he play against lefties often? He played against Mute on the grass and lost, but he got a set off of him. Yeah, he lost to Mute, and then I don't see anyone else that I recognize that is a lefty. So it's been some time. Excuse me, oh my goodness. It's been some time since he played against a lefty. Let's check and see it when the last time he's played one on the hard court, because Mateo's looking real good on that hard court right now. Even though he's 6-9, he just won a title. So, granted, it was a challenger title, but some of these guys aren't challenger level guys. They're ATP 250 guys, so as far as their level. Comesana lost to Rublev in straight sets back in Cincinnati. But I want to see. He hasn't played a lefty all year on the hard courts. As of last year, Ugo. He beat Ugo in the U.S. Open last year. If you can beat Ugo in the U.S. Open, you can definitely beat Matteo Bellucci. He disappointed me with not being able to get through Rublev. Like, at least with the spread. I thought he could at least keep it close, but this is no Rublev. But Matteo Bellucci was playing very good. He's been playing very well, bro. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I was watching a bit of him playing against Fadia in my Discord, and I was like, whew, I should have put money on this shit. God damn. He bageled him in the first set. It was like, god damn. Fadia's, like, not that great, but still. To watch that, I was like, whew. He might be reactivated after that loss to Jumhor back in Cincinnati. Because granted, he only came back off the hard court. He retired in his first match against Gaston. So he really he only really lost one, and it was against somebody that it was a pain in the ass to play. So him losing to Jumhor is forgiven in my mind. And then he went to being undefeated right after that. So I would say he's a decent threat here. Could I say for sure? I really couldn't say for sure, but I think he can get us a set, dude. I would hope that I would play him on like DraftKings for a contest. Instead of like Comesana, I'd play Bellucci, just because I feel like he could, and him getting a set is minus 225, so it's very plausible. If you like the form that you've seen him in recently, take him for a set. Why not? Why not? All right, what's next? Next we have Dostanic going against Vukic. We got Stefan versus Alexander. And this will be their first head-to-head as well. Now, Stefan is an American, 10-7 on the hard court, ranked 419. He's 70-40 on the hard courts, though, across his career since 2018. He retired in his last match in Chicago. A little bit iffy. And the match before that, he had a retirement, and then the third set from Bernard Tomic, which is what he did the very next match. So it's very odd. Vukic, though, he's 19-13 this season. He's taken sets off of Francis Tiafoe. He's taken sets off Cam Norrie, which I don't know what that means at this current point in time. But he did lose to Basavareddy in straights. So, someone that loses to Basavareddy but can take a set off Tiafoe, does he beat a hard court player, a seemingly all hard court player this year? Ranked 400? I would say so. But do I think he can upset? More than likely. So, I'm not going to touch this match. I'm sure something odd is going to happen in that one. Let me know in the comments if you guys got anything for that one. And last but not least, we have Nuno Borges going against Kamil Majchrzak. And this is going to be a funny one, I'm sure. Borges beat him in the Davis Cup back in 2022. 3 sets on the clay. Majchrzak has been ballin'. He won a hardcore tournament back in Poland. Dropped 2 sets, as I said before, in the entire time. He's only dropped 2 sets since he's come back onto the hard courts. This guy is on it, bro. So, going against Nuno Borges, who lost to Renner Knesh. Come on, man. This is the one we've been looking for. Is he even on the board yet? I don't see him nowhere. They might push this back till tomorrow because I think this might be a round 2 match, but it's on the schedule. So it's on the schedule. I don't see it anywhere though on the board. Psych. Oh yes, he's plus money. Kamil Majchrzak money line. Kamil Majchrzak money. He's plus 110. That's great. That's wonderful. I think that's the dog to go with for tomorrow. I really do. I really do. If there's anything else you guys want to get from me, let me know in the comments. But I think that'll wrap up everything we have for today. I want to appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure you check the video for the final, okay? That's happening tomorrow. As you know, I love you all. It's Big GATAH, and I'll catch you in the next one.